Hi, so as you may know by now, my name is Paul Jordan. I'd like to give you an introduction, or rather an overview, of the course LDM Expert. So what I'm going to do is log on here and I'll show you around so you can see what's inside. So let's pick the right user. Now I'm using LastPass here, which I'm hoping that you'll all be using because this will keep your passwords very safe. So let's click on the right user there. So I've got a test user. I'm being too slow. Log in. That's the course I want to show you. So I'm going to take you through from the beginning here just so you can see what the course looks like on the inside. So first of all, we've got kind of an intro video here. So I'm just going to give you a quick spin through that. So I'm not going to show all of that to you because I want to get through this as quickly as I can. But this will just show you the format of the course, how it's presented, and how you navigate your way through. We've enabled comments here so that as you go through a particular lesson, if you want to leave some feedback to say you didn't understand something or you thought something was very good, anything that you would like to say, then put a comment on there and we can attend to that and we can update the lesson to attend to any shortcomings that we might have made. So I'm going to continue the course there. So we've got a lesson here, how to work fast. Now this will teach you how to get around the keyboard really quickly. You're going to be doing a lot of work with your computer and you want to kind of avoid RSI. You want to kind of minimize the amount of times you click your mouse. You want to minimize the keystrokes that you do. So we're going to show you some really cool tricks to very quickly copy, paste, select, move text around, all that kind of thing, because you're going to be doing that a lot. And if you can do it quickly, you can be more productive and get things done quicker. So that's the lesson on that one there. Now at the bottom of some of the lessons, we have a quiz. So I'm going to show you what a quiz looks like because this is the general format that you'll see throughout the course. So what are the keyboard shortcuts to copy and paste? So I'm going to test myself out now. I should know these because I designed the quiz. So let's have a look. Let's see how well I know my own stuff. There we go. Click next. So I know it's that one. Select all is Control A. What's the keyboard shortcut to close the window? Alt F4. What's the shortest for opening the Windows settings? Control Shift. No, it's not. It's that one. Windows I. So if you're in a browser and you've got lots of tabs open, if you do Control 9, that'll take you to the 9th tab. Keyboard shortcut to open a new folder, it's Control Shift N. And then right at the end, you'll get a score. So 7 out of 7. I wouldn't expect anything less from myself. It'd be a bit strange if I couldn't answer my own questions, wouldn't it? But what you've got here is you can share this on your social media. So if I click share, you can see you can post your badge on your timeline. You can put some comments on there. So that's a great way of showing to your friends, family and colleagues who are on Facebook the progress that you're making with the course. I'm just going to close that. I don't want to post it. But it's great. So you can actually show other people what you're doing and how you're progressing through the course. So that's a very worthwhile lesson, because that will help you with all aspects of working on your computer. So let's go into the next lesson. I've done the quiz. Let's go down to the bottom, next lesson, which is there. So another really important lesson, how to name your files. Now this might kind of sound a bit trivial, but when you're doing internet marketing and setting up lots of graphics, logos, videos, web pages, you're going to have a lot of what's called digital assets. And it's going to be really sensible to name them meaningfully. It's no good just having a camera full of images that says image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4, and then downloading them onto your computer. You need to name them with a meaningful name so that you can find them subsequently. And if you're doing affiliate marketing and you have several campaigns running in parallel with several adverts and all that kind of thing, it's really important to give your file name something meaningful that you can follow. Now we do actually have our own code for that, and I'm going to give you a link to it down here in the lesson here. We've got a whole bunch of resources that you can download inside of each lesson. So we've got free tools, ones that you pay for, templates, and for example, so for file naming standards, we've actually given you a template that you can use. So anyway, that's a spin through file naming standards and why you need to have them. Might sound trivial, but believe me, you can get into a real mess if you don't use some kind of naming convention. So that's that lesson. So I'm going to mark that complete, go on to the next one. Bits and bytes. Now you need to talk about this stuff a lot bits, bytes, megabits, megabytes, gigabits, gigabytes, all that stuff. And it's important that you know what that means. And one of the reasons it's so important is, firstly, you need to understand the size of files, because the size of files will have a lot of significance on how quickly web pages load into the browser. Big images are one of the biggest problems with web pages that load slowly. So you need to get a feel, you need to get an insight into what file size actually is. So you need to understand the terminology of bits and bytes and why it's important. So we give you a good explanation there. We talk about the numbering system, we talk about kilobytes, kilobits, megabits, megabytes, gigabits, gigabytes. And when you come on to do the lesson on bandwidth, you'll understand why that's so important. So just so that you're really clear on what they are. So bandwidth, as I say, so in terms of when you're connected to the internet, the speed of your connection is going to be very important, not only for you while you're working, but very important for your users. Different users throughout the world are going to have access to different infrastructure. In some of the some of the less advanced countries, the internet speed is going to be slower, especially across 3G connections and so forth, and Wi-Fi. It's going to be slower. But if you're trying to sell your products and services into those countries, you need to be very aware of this, because it means you've got to design your web pages to load as fast as possible, which means you have small image sizes and you make the most of the bandwidth that's available in those countries. So knowing what bandwidth is, is pretty important. It'll give you an awareness of the performance of your website, the load speed, the response times, and all that kind of thing. So quite key to internet marketing that you understand what it is. So we're going to move on to the next lesson here. Domain names and registration. So we're going to talk about domain names, how they work. Now, this may seem a bit irrelevant, but believe me, when you're having problems with something called caching, and believe me, you will, if you've got a rough understanding of how the internet works and domain name servers, it will give you a good grounding from which to debug problems and do some fault finding and troubleshooting. So it's, you don't need to have a real really technical in-depth knowledge, but you do need to have a good awareness so that when things misbehave, you've got an idea where to look. So I'm going to spin through that. Next lesson, I'll show you what's inside the next one. So configuring name servers. So when you're setting up a website for the first time, this is something you will need to do. Again, if you're doing affiliate marketing, for example, you may have multiple websites with multiple landing pages. So you'll be setting up multiple names and all your hosting that goes with it. So configuring name servers, sometimes it's something you need to do often. If you're setting up just one website, it's going to be pretty much a one-off task. But this will tell you about what it's about and how to do it. Again, there's a little quiz at the bottom there. So let's go on to the next lesson. What is hosting and how to choose a good provider? Now, web hosting, if you're having a website, it's important to have a really good hosting company, not only in terms of their performance and their infrastructure speed, but their support, their tech support. When things go wrong, and they do, you need to have someone who's responsive, who you can have a web chat with, raise a support ticket and get it attended to quickly and easily. Some of the cheaper providers have very cheap hosting, but the support reflects that. It's terrible. When your website's down for any reason, you need to get it up quickly. And if you've got good tech support, then that's going to make that very possible. So I've got some good reviews of some of the different hosting companies there that you can take a look at. Some are better than others. I started off with the really cheap one, but I now use SiteGround. So mark lesson complete, move on to the next one. So an explanation of what the internet is. Again, you don't need to have a great in-depth understanding, but you do need to have an appreciation of how the internet works. Excuse me, performance speed in different countries. As I was saying earlier, the bandwidth is going to be lower in some countries, and you need to have an appreciation of that, because if you're targeting potential customers in those countries, you need to design your campaigns accordingly in terms of websites that load quickly and that aren't full of heavy loaded images that take too long to load. So again, it's just good to have an understanding how the internet works. There's something called content delivery networks that's a little bit more advanced, but they're to do with actually getting your web pages to load quickly in different parts of the world. So that's another thing you need to have again, with all the things that I'm covering here, you don't need to have a great in-depth understanding, but you need to have an awareness, because when you're outsourcing work, you need to have a conversation with people and know what they're talking about. A bit like your car, you might not repair your car, but you need to know what the engine is. You need to know what the exhaust pipe is. You need to know where the petrol goes, liquid, oil, windscreen wash. There's quite a lot of things you do need to know about your car. So you can have a conversation with the technician who does the repair work for you, or who does the servicing. So now we're talking about web pages here. Now this is a really important lesson, because You're not going to be expected to build a web page, but there are some fundamental components of a web page, some HTML tags that you really do need to understand. Even if you're outsourcing all the work, these are the fundamentals that are going to make a big difference to your understanding when you're outsourcing work and getting it done. And it will show you how a page is structured. And what I'm going to do is talk you through how to build a really simple web page and get it running on your computer locally, then upload it to your hosting platform and get it working there. Some great resources I've mentioned there. Next lesson. So here we're actually going to talk you through how to build a simple web page using Notepad. I've got the video there. A lot of the lessons on this course are accompanied by videos, so you can watch the video, pause it, rewind and so forth. But also inside the lesson I've got step-by-step instructions. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, so you can follow through at your own pace. Again, you're not going to be building real websites unless it's something that you really want to do yourself. But I'm going to show you the basic principles so that you understand how they work, so that when things are being outsourced and done by other people, you can appreciate what they're doing and you can do some fault finding and troubleshooting when things go wrong, because they will. So there we go, nice numbered lessons there. Another little quiz at the end if you want to take that. Let's move on to the next lesson and show you what's inside there. So how to upload your web page to your hosting provider. So you've created it in Notepad on your local computer. Now you need to upload it onto your hosting platform and get it working there. Very simple pages we're talking about here, just to demonstrate the concepts behind web pages, what they are, how they work. They're a lot simpler than people think. And again, there are some very fundamental principles about hyperlinks and file names that you need to understand to help you diagnose problems when they arise. So a lot of these courses, a lot of the lessons in this course, they're references. You can flick through them, skim through them. At least you've got an awareness. You know which lesson to go back to if you have issues in those particular areas. So next lesson. So add a page with a hyperlink, upload and test. So now we're getting into actually linking several pages together. All websites work around the idea of having hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are what you click to load one page from another. And you can actually create that on your local computer and then you can upload it to your hosting provider to get it working there. Again, this is all about learning the theory, understanding how it works at a very basic level, because these basic principles will stay with you for the course of your online business, because they're basic principles that apply to every single website on the internet. So you really do need to have some, I think that you need to have a basic understanding of these concepts because they do apply everywhere. So again, got lots of step-by-step instructions there. Understanding caching. Now caching is a term, I'm sure many people have had problems with the website misbehaving, and the usual thing is we're told to have you cleared your cache. We've all tried to do that. But the thing is with the word caching, it's a very generic word because caching takes place at many different parts inside the internet, and this lesson is going to teach you more in depth about that. Again, you don't need to have a great technical understanding, but you need to have an awareness so that when you're fault finding, you're troubleshooting, when someone's talking about caching, you need to ask them, what caching are you talking about? Because there are many different types of caching that take place in different parts of the internet infrastructure, and you need to understand those. So we've spoken about caching and why you need to understand it. So let's see what the next lesson is at the bottom here. So as you can see, mark complete, next lesson. So that is the end of the free lessons. So now I'm going to show you what you get when you pay for the whole course. Okay, so as I said, we've come to the end of the free lessons now. So let's move on to see what you get inside the paid course. So let's click the next lesson down the bottom here. Tools and knowledge to set you apart. So here we go into all the details of these different lessons here. This talks about the structure of this particular module. So this is kind of like an overview of all the lessons inside the next module. So let's click next lesson. So introduction to WordPress, how to install a theme, make edits. Again, we go through some basic settings there. Quiz at the end. Next lesson. WordPress plugins, we talk about some important ones. Quick scroll through there, lesson complete. Website checklist. So this is a downloadable checklist that enables you to ensure that when you set up your WordPress website, you set it up correctly with all the right settings. Security, very important, very important. Your website will get hacked and attacked. We show you how to protect it here. Lesson complete. Preferred web page builder. So we talk about a product called Thrive Architect, which is a fantastic web editor. So if you choose to create your own website, that is a product that you'd probably want to have a look at. So going on to the next lesson here, we talk about content delivery network, why you need to have one, why they're important, what they can do for you. So just go through there, some diagrams, good explanation there. You'll find out some hosting companies will incorporate with part of the hosting plan. Quiz at the end, as you'll see. You'll get quite familiar with all the quizzes here. Mobile friendly website, why you must have a mobile friendly website. Very important these days. 50% of traffic or plus is from mobile devices. Search engine optimization, SEO. What you need to know about it. What you can do about it. Quiz at the end of lesson. Website organization and data structure. So if you're building your own website, or even if you're having outsourced, you need to have some knowledge of how it's going to be structured. Now for landing pages, this is irrelevant. If you're just doing affiliate marketing, you don't really need to know this kind of stuff. But if you're building a website with products on there, then you're probably going to want to know the best way of organizing it. So next subject is creating your creatives. How do you go about getting your images done, your videos created? You can do them yourself, you can have them outsourced. We've got some free tools there. Talk about color schemes. And again, if you go back up there, we've got some free tools in the tab there, all listed. There's a Chrome extension, some Chrome extensions that are quite useful that you can have there. Lesson complete. Interactive video. Now this is another interesting form of marketing. And we've got an example of an interactive video that you can watch there that we've created. I think in fact we've actually got 3 different ones. We've done these for clients in other countries, as you'll see. I think this one's English, this one's an American speaking lady. I think this one's could be Spanish from what I remember. But anyway, interactive videos, very great way to communicate with your audience, makes your website a lot more engaging, so you can see how that works. We've got some templates there. So we've got an interactive video specification template that shows you how to go about specifying how to get an interactive video done. And we've got an interactive quiz. Unlike the other quizzes, this one's interactive, so you can take the quiz and actually see how it's used. Really fascinating stuff, I think. So graphics and video resources. So we've listed so many different tools here. We've got some free tools. We've got some paid tools. We've got some eBooks. There are lots of fantastic tools for you to use for creating your own graphics and videos that are out there. Okay, so now we're going to do tools of trade, websites, more WordPress plugins, downloads, Chrome browser extensions. So there are lots and lots of tools. We've actually got this ebook which you can download here. There's 2 of them. So we've got the 149 best website resources for you to use, the 35 best Chrome extensions for digital marketers, another quiz at the bottom there. Lesson completed. Copywriting. We teach you about copywriting. It's a very brief lesson. Copywriting you can spend, that could be a course in its own right. But again, we've got some templates there for you to use. We've got some free tools, further reading, copywriting secrets, cache verting. Another quiz at the bottom and mark your lesson complete. How to write a blog post that flies. So some instruction there on how to compose a blog, some good ideas that you can use in the content of your blog. And again, we've got a template that you can download that will show you how to structure your blog post for maximum effect and maximum SEO juice. So go on to the next lesson here. E-commerce sites, online payments. So obviously if you're selling things online, you want to be able to take payments with credit card. You talk about Stripe, that's one that's very popular on the internet these days. You can use PayPal, you can use eBay, Wix, WooCommerce. We talk about some different payment options there that you can use. Very, critical if you want to be able to take online payments for your goods or services. Now we talk about social media marketing and we talk about email. So this is another module. So I'm going to click down to the end here. Got all these lessons listed inside. Next lesson. Email addresses, email folders, email sequences. You'll probably be dealing with setting up your email. Again, if you're dealing with multiple accounts, if you're dealing with customers, multiple email addresses, then you're going to need to know about some of this stuff. As with all these lessons, not all of them will be relevant for you. I'd suggest that most of them are worth a skim through just so you have an awareness, so that you know they're there and you can go back to them if you need to. But email service providers and autoresponders, you definitely need to know about emails, because email marketing is a very effective way of marketing. I think the the return on investment for email marketing is something like 4,200%, which is far higher than any other form of marketing. If you're looking at Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, email marketing just is shoulders above them in terms of the return on investment spend there. So again, we talk about some famous, well-known email service providers there. We talk about autoresponders. It's very important to make sure you take the right steps to make sure that emails get sent out don't go to the spam box of your recipients. So we've got a lesson at the bottom there. Introduction to Facebook. Now, Facebook is an ever-changing beast, so you can guarantee that whatever we write today is going to be out of date tomorrow because things change all the time. But a lot of the basic principles still apply, and we will be updating these modules from time to time. Customer avatars, you need to know about these. You need to understand what they are, why you need them for your business, how to create them. And again, we have a template here, customer avatar template, which you can download. We've got some free tools that you can use as well. Another quiz if you want to take it. Let's complete that lesson and move on to the next one. Facebook advertising. Now this is really an important module indeed, very, very important. Facebook, again, it's changed a lot in recent times because of the iOS updates and the privacy there, but it's still a very effective advertising platform. So we talk about how to prepare your ads there, how to set up your pixel, looking at an ad, testing ads, budgeting, optimization, building the ad itself, how to use a template, put it into a spreadsheet here so you've got all your adverts very well organized. We talk about how to structure your ad account, the structure of the campaign, the structure of ads themselves, ad sets, very, very important. So again, I've got a follow along section here that you can look at, show you how to do all the ads very easily. Quite a lot of work involved with setting up an ad, but that will show you how to do it in great detail, step by step. So quite a few steps as you can see, but lots of screenshots to make it easy for you, lots of explanations of the different aspects of the interface. So we come down, take the next lesson. Facebook advanced ads. Now we're going to do things like retargeting here. Talk about advertising angles and how you can use those in your advertising campaigns. We've got a few tools here that we use. There's Connect, Explore, Connect, Retarget. Got some eBooks. I've got a complete reference for you. We've written, and there are some free tools there. Facebook Business Manager, which is completely free for you to use. So next we're going to talk about Facebook targeting tools. So something called Connect.io, which is a really good product. I recommend you take a look at that. That's something that we use. Defining an audience. This is a Venn diagram, which you may be familiar with from your school days. That talks about how overlapping audiences can be used to refine who you're targeting your ads for. Got some suggestions for ads targeting there. Anniversaries, for example. Gifts. Exclusions. All the things you need to know. Our lesson is complete. Facebook pixel and retargeting. Again, this is some really powerful advanced stuff that we're into now. So explain what the pixel is, how it works, how to set it up, and how to use it to best effect. Really important stuff. Conversion rate optimization, otherwise known as A/B testing. Great book here which goes into huge depth on the subject. But we also show you how to do A/B testing yourself, what to test, why you need to use a hypothesis. So, next lesson. Just wait for the page to load here, it's a bit slow. Now this is really important. A lot of people, aren't so sure how you actually work out if you're making a profit or loss. Not as straightforward as you might think either. So we go through how you calculate that, how to make sure that you're actually running into profit, which you won't always be. You can expect to run at a loss initially while you're testing your campaigns and optimizing. And once you find the winning combination, that's when you scale up and make a lot more money. And it more than covers the losses that you made through the testing process. Page speed and optimization, very, very important. If your web pages don't load quickly, people will click away. I think Microsoft did a survey in 2021, the average attention span of human beings is about 8 seconds. So we just go through there. Again, this is a bit detailed, it might be too technical for you, but at least you have an awareness of all the aspects of the different things that can hold up the page load speed. So we just show you there what happens in reality, how the actual page gets built. Because once you understand that, you might outsource it to get it optimized for you, but at least if you understand the basic principles, you can know the pinch points that are slowing your web page down when it loads. We talk about, images, dimension size is really important. Minification, again, these are things that will be done by plugins for you, but you need to understand what minification means. There's a lot of terminology in internet marketing that you need to understand. Render blocking JavaScript, again, that's just basically JavaScript page that executes on your page. When it's being executed, it's stopping the remainder of your page from loading. Again, we've got some tools there that will help you to test the speed of your page and work out whether the bottlenecks are. We talk about affiliate marketing, one of my favourite subjects. We actually talk about this a little bit in some of our webinars, but it's a great way to get started. You don't have to have any stock for affiliate marketing. Now we talk about viral marketing, and there is a tool that you can use that will allow you to set up viral campaigns so that you can incentivize your audience to share your posts, share your adverts, so you get extra free exposure. I just talked about one example there of a viral video that just went viral through the natural course of things and was seen by millions of people. So we talk about incentivized sharing, we talk about some paid tools. There's a very good one called UpViral, very good product. Next lesson, outsourcing. Now this is a really important module because you're going to be outsourcing probably all or most of the work that you're doing to set up your online business. So you need to know how to go about it. It's not difficult, but there are some key things that you need to know. So again, lesson complete. How to set up and use Google Analytics, very important. You need to see where your traffic's coming from, how people are interacting on your web page. We talk about Google Tag Manager. So again, we've got a detailed setup there of how you do it, all within the page of how you set up your Google Analytics. Everything's easy when you know how, guys. We've got step-by-step instructions here. And with all this, as with everything, you'll find that on all of these lessons here, we've got the lessons that show you how to do it, but also we've got a help section. We'll get down to that here. Book a session now. So with the whole program, you get access to me and my team. So if you get stuck, if you can't get your Google Tag Manager working, click the link, book a call. You'll see the calendar appears there. You just need to select a time slot and date, book a call, and we'll have a Zoom session with you, and we'll get you through that problem, get you over that roadblock, get you on to the next step. And that's available in all the lessons. So it's mark that lesson complete. Social media platforms, very, very important. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you need to know about them, what they can do for you, how to go about using them, how to have a social media campaign, how to go about getting know, like and trust. Lots of free tools in there as well. Social media strategy. It's no good just randomly posting stuff out there. You do need to have a planned strategy so that you do things in the right way. And again, it's going to vary according to the type of business that you have. Some good tools to use there, some analytics. So we've got some free tools. These are all good ones that I would recommend. Again, if you get stuck, you can book a session with us, take the quiz. So we're getting well through the course now. Recommended books. We should always be educating ourselves, and we do that by reading lots of books. I've got a huge physical pile and also a backlog on my Kindle and on my Audible account with Amazon to listen to books when I'm driving or I'm at the gym. It's the best way to learn new stuff. So we've got a list there of the books that we recommend for you that will help you hone your skills as an internet marketer. So conclusions, we're kind of getting towards the end now. Now I've gone through this quite quickly. The course will probably take you, you could probably get through it in about 30 hours, but I think it's doubtful that anybody would want to go through it that quickly. There's a lot of content, there's a lot of material. Some of the things you'll need to study once or twice. Some of the lessons I'll follow along, so you'll need to kind of pause the lessons, take out some action on the other screen or another browser, come back to the lesson, move on to the next step. We talk about, this is kind of coming towards the end of the course now. Now I've talked about the testing once before, but again, that's another book that I highly recommend that you read. Complete. And that's it. That's the course over. So I've given you a quick spin through all the lessons that shows you what's inside. We cover just about everything. As time progresses, we will be adding new lessons, new modules. We constantly revamp the course, so once you've signed up, you've got lifetime access. So as we add new modules on there for new things that come along, you'll get access to those as well. We're always available at the end of the phone or on a Zoom call to do a screen share to help you out when you get stuck. So we look forward to seeing you on the inside. I hope you enjoyed that overview of the course, and we look forward to working with you. Bye for now.